Hi everyone, welcome to Hapovise and the Love Your Body event. Today we are talking with Robin Nielsen and we are doing the only Zoom video of the entire event. I'm going to be honest, I'm not very good at this and I actually didn't realize that Robin had planned for us to be on video, so I was not camera ready at all. And then she comes on and her hair is all beautiful and she looks great. And I was like, oh no, we were going to do camera video. So basically you're going to get to see Robin. So Robin, do you want to say hi on your camera?
Yes. Hi, everyone. It is so great to be here with you. I'm really excited I'm excited for this event. I'm excited to share this information. So I look forward to getting started.
Awesome. So Robin, I actually met, I think it was 8 years ago. She was on my very first summit. And we haven't worked together, although we've had clients in common with since then. When I used to do one-on-one coaching, I had a long-term client that also worked with Robin, and she would say things like, "Oh, this changed in my life. I need to get with Robin to see what I need to do to what supplements I need to change, or whatever that she was going through menopause." So I've stayed on her list this whole time, which I have to tell you is very unusual. Most people's lists I jump off of, but I have stayed on Robin's list for 8 years. So I'm super glad that she can be with us. The reason I've stayed on her list this whole time is because she shares the most amazing content on natural hormone solutions. And I know we have a wide range of people, different ages, listening. And some of you may think this doesn't apply to you, or it's just starting to apply to you. And let me ask you that question first, Robin, before we get into all the wonderful information you're going to share. What age range of people should be listening to this call will benefit from it?
Any age. So, I used to work with really mostly women who were in sort of the same age range as myself. So perimenopause, postmenopause. But really, hormonal issues impact every single woman. And we women know hormones. If you talk to a woman and ask her, about her hormones, she'll have an opinion about it. So, a lot of my clients are perimenopause, postmenopause, but gosh, more and more, probably a third of them are actually in their 30s. I even have one in her late 20s. And so it really depends on sort of what your health goals are, what you want for yourself, how you want to show up in the world, all of that. So I'm very proud of the younger women who have decided to take charge of their health. I'm so inspired by that. So, you can feel fabulous no matter what your age. And if you have hormonal challenges, that could be like it was for me in my 20s.
And that's the thing is, I think people who are younger don't realize that what might be their issue is unbalanced hormones. I think they think that's only for older people. And I
Right.
now look back on friends I had when I was in my 20s, and it's now obvious that it was hormone related, and they could have
Mhm.
done so much more if they had just got the information. So I love it that more and more younger people are understanding. You know what? I need to get need to get on board with this now, so that obviously it'll just escalate, right? Most people, if they have hormone problems, it just continues to get worse. So
Yeah, it doesn't get better.
right. So getting the help you need now, I mean, this could be for you, a lot of, like you said, most women know hormones, but if you have a younger daughter who has depression, or who has really bad periods, or has a lot of, pain, or what would other symptoms be for someone younger that would
Oh
have?
my gosh, yeah, you've hit on some big ones. So an irregular menstrual cycle
Mhm.
is a really big tip off that something is not right in a younger woman, for sure.
Okay.
And many women who I've supported have something called premature ovarian failure, where it's like they're postmenopause
Oh.
and they just don't have a cycle at all. Oh my gosh, acne is a big one.
Yes.
Weight gain for kind of no apparent reason, really. Hair loss, hirsutism, that dark, coarse hair growth, right? That
Mhm.
is very male patterned. Um, Depression, anxiety, those are huge. Gosh, the list is so endless.
It is, and I think part of it is the way the world has developed with so many hormone disruptive chemicals. Way
Yeah, for
more than
sure.
we've had. Every year there's more in the environment. So I think this is affecting people younger and younger, just as this exposure to toxic chemicals. And even those of us who are in their 40s, 50s, 60s, it could be worse than was maybe for our grandparents, just because of our exposure to these toxic chemicals. So yeah, it's really important, and that's why Robin was one of the first people I invited, because I know we're talking about love your body, and this primarily, I think most people are kind of relating it to weight, which your hormone reset program, which we'll talk about later, is super helpful with. But it also has to do with energy and being, like the slide says here, weight loss, vibrant energy, and happier moods. So we want to love the body we're in and love our body and feel good in our body. And I love that the work you do helps support all of that, which is just the most important thing.
Absolutely. So it's all about taking charge of our health, because we're constantly looking outside of ourselves for the magic pill, the magic diet, the magic exercise program. And unfortunately, there isn't a magic one. Every decision, every action we make has a hormonal consequence, good or bad. And so when we understand that and we start realizing that we have all the power to heal, to feel our very best, it is like a game changer.
Right. I love that too, because most of us fight with these things listed on the slide. Many of us have fought all our lives with it in one form or another, maybe more weight loss or more energy related. It depends on the person. And it feels very like you're powerless. And you're just having to always, like you said, look outside of yourself for the solution. That's what we're trained to do. And I love that you're helping people empower themselves to figure out, this is what I personally need, which is different from what my neighbor needs, and probably different from what my sister needs. It's individualized. And once you have that knowledge, then you can take control of your own health and create the life you want. So it's just such an empowering message. I love it.
Thank you. And, I think one of the hardest things for women is we've been taught to undereat and over-exercise our entire lives. I did that for decades, never could keep it off. And I felt it was always my fault. I felt so ashamed and embarrassed, and gosh, I felt so dumb, like I didn't have enough willpower, and every single January would come around and I'd say, oh my gosh, I just need more willpower. I can totally do it this time. I mean, who was I kidding? Like, that's the definition of insanity. And so what I didn't realize is that we needed to eat more and exercise less, right? We needed to start doing things for hormonal balance. And so, when I started, I had to go back to school. I trained under an endocrinologist. Like, I had to do all these things to figure out my stuff. Never in a million years dreamed I would be teaching this, but it was so profound for me. My skin cleared up. I had acne for at least 3 decades, maybe more.
Oh,
I had acne on my face, my chest, my back. I had
such a hit on your self-confidence.
Oh my gosh, horrible. I was so irritable. I was grumpy. I was really moody for years and years and years and years. I had receding gums. I had to use special toothpaste. My gums have healed. My teeth have healed. Like, those are things that we don't even think about as hormonally related, but we can heal all of these things. And so what I think is important to know is that it's not your fault.
Yes.
It's not your fault around weight, around moods, around any of this, but it is your responsibility to figure it out. And so it's just my honor and pleasure to help share some of this information, to give you hope and to know that your body is this innately wise entity, magical entity that can totally heal if given the right resources. And so I just want to give you some hope and inspiration today that can totally happen for you. And that, I was talking to Amy before we started today, that really releasing or weight gain is a symptom. It's a symptom that something's not right in your body. So it's really telling you that your metabolism is broken. That's all it is. So when we start to take care of our bodies better and support our bodies in a more powerful way, weight loss is just a side effect of getting healthier. That's the same with good energy, right? So many of us are tired, really fat and tired. That's really how it goes, because those go hand in hand. And same thing with our mood. So as we start to heal, we just start to feel happier. We have more energy. Life becomes possible again. And guess what? The weight just starts to come off.
That is the magic that we've all wanted to hear, right? That we don't have to think about weight loss. We don't have to concentrate on calories and
No.
going to the gym and getting our 2 hours at the gym. All of that, we don't have to worry about any of it. So yeah, that is, we just concentrate on being healthy and all of those. And your skin looks great. I don't know how much people saw when you were on the video for sure. You have amazing. I'm super, like, I always notice skin. And yeah, you just look awesome. And you actually, I think, look younger than when we knew it when you were on my program from 8 years ago. I don't know how that's possible. You're like the Paul Rudd of speakers.
That's cute.
So yeah, awesome. I love this message, and I know you have some specific stories to share with us about what people can expect, what they've been able to achieve by they're putting their, what am I trying to say? Developing their lifestyles around being healthy and getting the hormones balanced, and all these wonderful side effects. And also some information about what hormones, because as I learned from you 8 years ago, we always think estrogen, but that is just a small player in the hormone world compared to the big.
It really is. So as I go through this presentation, I want you to start thinking about these 6 hormones. So it's insulin and cortisol, and then I'm going to share more about this in just a minute. Insulin, cortisol, thyroid in this order, and then progesterone, estrogen, and testosterone. So those are the 6 hormones. And the reason why I decided to even approach our healing from this way is, number one, for me, like, that was first and foremost in my mind. And because I trained under an endocrinologist, it's like, oh my gosh, this makes so much sense. But as women, we're focused on the wrong hormones. Mm-hmm. We're focused on our minor hormones, the progesterone, the testosterone, the estrogen. Those are way downstream. And so if our insulin and cortisol are messed up, then of course we're going to have a huge imbalance in our minor hormones. So I'll talk about that in just a little bit, but I want you to start thinking about everything you do and how it impacts your hormones.
Okay, awesome. Let's get started.
All right, so this is all about 5 steps to hormone balance, lasting weight loss, and vibrant energy and happier moods in 2022. So it's about hormone balance as it relates to weight loss, vibrant energy, happier moods. And I have hundreds of stories like the ones I'm going to share with you today. And it's not hard to maintain your weight once you learn how to take care of yourself. So that's a really cool part. So here's what you're going to discover today, the 5 steps to hormone balance and feeling fabulous, where you are right now. So I'm going to help you really understand kind of what's going on for yourself right now, and then what you want for yourself in 2022. And this might be hard because I know for myself, like, I had been in such a low self-esteem, low confidence, kind of embarrassed place for so many years. I wasn't sure what I could ask for. So I'm going to help you dream a little bit to ask for exactly what it is you want, because when we do that, we can actually achieve it. So when we know exactly what we want for ourselves, we can achieve it. So let's do this. I want you to start thinking about those incredible health goals that you want for yourself for 2022, because it's just days away, literally. And then we're going to talk about those 6 most important hormones, and then I'm going to share with you some next steps. How does that sound? Yeah?
That sounds great.
All right. So I love this. You have been brought here to this moment right here, right now, to reset. This whole program that Amy's providing is to help you get some clarity and to help you really reset your life and your goals. And I don't know, take charge of things, right? Because a new year brings so many possibilities, a blank slate, you can have whatever you want, to recalibrate and to heal. So you've experienced a legacy of enormous suffering that has allowed for this incredible wisdom within you, but I want you to know that you will get better and you will heal, no matter where you are right now. So here's step one. You ready? Take some notes. Step one to a fabulous 2022, you have to take charge of your health. You have to understand what's going on in your body. You have to be the objective scientist. Stop blaming yourself and instead start taking charge. If something's not right in your body, it's because there's something amiss. And so you have to figure that out. I call them root causes or hormone deal breakers. There are things that are causing your hormones to go haywire because our hormones are the cellular communication system in our bodies. And so if one hormone is out of balance, they are all out of balance. So it's really important to discover what is causing the hormonal imbalances so that you can heal. And we can only do that if we take the reins, if we take charge. So I want you to meet Laura. She's an incredible woman. She's one of my private clients, and she is a retired English professor at a university. Super brilliant woman. She also, from what I understand, is an incredible singer, vocalist, and just the most beautiful woman ever, but she really, really struggled with her health. So step two to a fabulous 2022, you've got to discover your hormone deal breakers. These are the root causes, and it takes some knowledge to figure this out. So I'm going to show you, how you can do that, and how you can do that with me, how I can help you discover some of your hormone deal breakers for 2022 so you can fix them, so you can feel so much better. So I want you to start thinking now. Get your pen and paper out, and I want you to actually write down your top 3 to 5 health goals. And I'm going to share with you what Laura's were. So Laura's were this year a healthier body composition. So she wanted to release weight and just feel better in her body. She wanted to be allergy free. She suffered from allergies a lot, and they kept her, feeling pretty bad. So if you suffered from allergies, you know what I mean. She wanted to have healthy, beautiful skin. She wanted to have energy all day long, strong, hearty digestion, and she wanted to live each day in a calm, easeful, and happy place. So those were her goals.
I think everyone listening will sign up for those goals.
No kidding. So now it's your turn. What are your top 3 to 5 goals? I've given you a few ideas. And, I think, Amy, that energy needs to be at the very top of everyone's list, because if we have energy, life is pretty good.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Other people might have a better sleep. I guess that's related to energy, but that's another big
one.
one.
Yeah, and sleep is a big one. So sleep, really good restorative sleep could definitely be a health goal. Okay, so step 3 to a fabulous 2022 is we've got to heal your metabolism. So your metabolism is really all of the processes that go on in your body that makes your body function. And what happens is when we don't feel well is that we become what I call the hibernating bear. So the hibernating bear just doesn't have access to a lot of resources, right? There's no food, there's very little water, there's no sunlight. And so it hibernates and its metabolism goes down to the very, very, very lowest point possible just to keep the bear alive, so that it burns as few calories as possible so that the bear can survive until spring. And that's what happens to our bodies. Our metabolism just gets so sluggish to keep us alive because our body is stressed in so many ways. It's just lacking so many resources to function. So that's why I say you've got to discover those stressors, root causes, hormone deal breakers, so that you can heal your metabolism. All right. What are your top 5 health challenges? So those are really easy usually. Mm-hmm. They're very front and center. We've been focusing on them for years, right? And so Laura's were excess weight. Allergies were so bad. She had acne and eczema. She had a huge afternoon energy slump. She had moderate anxiety and depression. She had GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disorder. She had IBS for most of her life, right? Went back and forth between diarrhea and constipation. She had hirsutism, which is that dark, coarse, terminal hair growth in places where you don't want it, like your chin. She had brain fog, procrastination. She kept putting things off, and her fingernails were breaking and splitting.
That seems like a funny one to add. I mean, all those other ones seem so big, but I know that there's sometimes we have an issue that might sound small, but it drives us nuts. So if you have a health challenge, write it down. Even if you think, oh, that's not that big a deal to have splitting fingernails. But
so which one don't you think is a big deal, Amy? I'm curious.
The fingernails. I mean, compared to the other ones, I was like, yeah, I wouldn't like them. You know, it seems funny to me to add it. But like I said, I understand that there can be things that, and I think that's a symptom of thyroid.
Well, it can be very painful, actually.
Oh, really? Okay.
And a lot of these symptoms are symptoms of thyroid. So I'm glad that you brought it up. The problem is that your thyroid regulates your metabolism.
Right.
And your thyroid is going to slow down if your body's having challenges.
Okay, so
you cannot
overall picture of thyroid.
You cannot just fix your thyroid, right? So many women, they go to the doctor and the doctor says, oh yeah, you have a thyroid problem. Here, take this medication. And so they take it, and for a week they feel better. And then after a week, they feel just like they did before. And that's because they did not address the root causes of what was causing their thyroid to slow down in the first place. So if your thyroid is slowing down, it's not usually a thyroid problem. It's usually something else. Is that clear?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But I didn't know fingernails breaking could be painful, but I will take your word for that.
Absolutely. Can you imagine if your fingernails started splitting? Oh my gosh. Woo. Okay, now it's your turn. Write down your health challenges. Let's get this done. Yes. So it's really great, right? Because if we name it, we can change it.
Good point.
Yeah. Okay, so step 4 to a fabulous 2022, assess and test. Don't guess. So that's something that we're going to do in the Robin's Hormone Reset in January. Is we're going to do an assessment every day, and every day is going to be an assessment of a different hormone. So you're going to get really clear on what is not working, right? And each symptom is a symptom of that specific hormone, which is really crazy amazing. So cool. And testing is so, so important because it's your objective information. So how you feel is way more important than any test results, but test results uncover hormone deal breakers or root causes that you would never guess. Never guess. So in my program, we do a lot of testing. So I want you to think for a moment, how are your health challenges keeping you from living the life you want? How are your health challenges keeping you from living the life you want? So for Laura, she said, I often feel too tired or heavy to do activities I love. She couldn't even go for a walk. She was so exhausted. I'm often short with people and I feel sad a lot, which interferes with my marriage. I feel like I'm not all there. For me, I was so grumpy and irritable and my mind was constantly racing. I couldn't get it out of negative patterns. I was exhausted, right? I still had acne. I just felt that I was really handicapped. I couldn't play full out in my life. It was driving me crazy. So now it's your turn to write down how your health challenges are getting in the way of living the life you want. It's really important to figure this out because we can let years go by, which is what I did because I didn't know that all I had to do was take charge of my health. We can let years go by not feeling our best. So just think, if I stay on the same trajectory with my health, how am I going to feel in just another year? How am I going to feel in 3 years? What is my life going to be like in 5 years if I don't do anything? Right? Really important to start looking at it like that, especially when you can turn it around so fast. Okay, here's your step 5. You've got to find a support community. And just being here in Amy's incredible event is a fantastic support community. And then you want to find the next one and then the next one, because you've got to keep it going. You've got to be supported by like-minded women, by women who want the same thing as you, right? Who are on that path to optimal health, to feeling fabulous. Right? We don't want the disease symptom management anymore. I don't want to go to the doctor and have them say, oh, you're doing okay. Come back and next year and we'll see if you have any other problems, right? That's not the kind of life we want to live. We actually want to feel well all the time, right? I mean, raise your hand if you want to feel well all the time.
I'm raising both of my hands.
Oh my gosh, yes, right? Of course we do. So here's some of Laura's health improvements. Her acid reflux and gas, gone. She has energy all day long. No more afternoon crash. Her bowel movements are healthy for the first time in her life. No diarrhea, no constipation, no cramping, nothing. Amazing. She's released 26 pounds and she's had no trouble maintaining it. And she eats a lot. I mean, how many of you would like that?
And how long?
Right?
Approximately, how long did that take? Just
So these things take days, weeks, months, and sometimes years, right? For Laura, she released 26 pounds in about, I want to say, 5 months, maybe 6 months. For her, it's been a little bit slower. She's been a little bit slower than some of my other clients, but she's so happy about it because she feels so much better and it's totally maintainable for her.
Easy, sustainable. That's the key.
And once you get healthier, then we can do some pretty cool things to drop whatever is left, which is fantastic. But you have to get your adrenals healthy. You have to get your digestion healthy. You have to get your liver healthy, right? All these things, you have to replace missing nutrients. Those are a lot of the hormone deal breakers.
So I would say you're saying 6 months is maybe on the longer end for her. I mean, some people are definitely longer, but we're talking about this right at the beginning of the new year. If someone said to you, you could have that in July, how does that sound? Lose 26 pounds by July in an easy, sustainable way. I think everyone, and have energy all day long, everyone would sign up for that. It's just a matter of
with zero dieting, right? Zero dieting, just taking better care of yourself and knowing how to do that, like incredible. Yeah. So her nails are beautiful. Her eczema is almost completely gone. And if you experience eczema, you know it can be one of the hardest things to get rid of, right? Her moods are so much happier. She learned that she's not a procrastinator. Can you believe that? She had a project to do recently, and she said, I just got it done like 3 days in advance. She said, here I thought all my life I've been a procrastinator. She said, what I realized is I just didn't have the energy.
Right. That makes
amazing.
Sense.
Right?
You put things off if you don't have the energy to do them.
Exactly. And then she went on a 5-mile tough hike and had no problem, like didn't even think twice about it. And she's totally confident that she can maintain all of this.
That's got to feel great.
Yeah, so great. So we're resetting 6 hormones. Insulin, that's the lock and key hormone. That is our hormone that gets sugar from our bloodstream into our cells to burn for fuel. So it's really an important hormone, and unfortunately, a lot of the time it's not working correctly for a bunch of reasons. And the biggest reason is because cortisol, the hormone that our adrenal glands produce, those tiny little walnut-sized glands that sit on top of our kidneys, are responsible for so much of our hormonal balance. And cortisol is our daytime hormone. That's what gives us our energy. But it's also our fight or flight hormone, our stress hormone. So it can be elevated way too much of the time. And if cortisol is elevated, insulin is elevated to get sugar into our cells so we can run from the tiger. And if you think about your life, how many tigers do you have in your life? It could be that you just lost your car keys, can throw off this huge hormonal cascade if you don't have good stress resilience, right? So when insulin and cortisol are out of balance, forget thyroid, forget progesterone, forget estrogen, forget testosterone. They are going to be in the tank because you are not making any of your sex hormones, none of those minor hormones, if you are constantly making cortisol, because you're either resting and digesting, feed and breed, right? We're either making our sex hormones or we're running from the tiger, but we're not doing both. I hope that makes sense. So you can't get a good night's sleep if your brain thinks that you have to save your life, right? There's no way you can sleep if you're running from the tiger.
Right. And the running from the tiger there is just remembering all the things you have to do tomorrow. And your brain takes it as
that could be one of them, right?
That same threat level as if there's a wild animal outside your bedroom, and you can't rest. Okay, that makes sense.
But there are a number of things. Like, once you get more hormonally balanced, you also won't have all these thoughts whirring around in your head. So when you have these obsessive thoughts, that is a hormone imbalance, right? Your neurotransmitter serotonin is now low because of your imbalanced hormones.
So it's a feedback loop. You balance your hormones and stop worrying so much, which makes it easier to balance your hormones, which makes you worry even less. So that's a great way to spiral up.
Yeah, so I want you to meet Tammy. I'm just going to go through these quickly. So Tammy's health challenges were acne, hirsutism, constant pain, weight gain, insomnia, irregular menstrual cycle, allergies, heartburn, anxiety, brain fog, zero libido. And you can see, she's a pretty young woman.
Yeah.
And all these ladies are huge spokeswomen for taking charge of your health. We have seen incredible changes in a very short period of time. So far, for Tammy, I'm trying to think when she joined, but it's been a few months. She's released over 51 pounds. And she's kept it off without dieting and easily. Her bath towel now wraps around her body, right? If you're a bigger woman, you know that sometimes is not possible. Her menstrual cycle is regular. She has happier, more balanced moods. And here's something that she didn't even realize, but she couldn't wear her contacts because her eyes would react and get so sore. Mm-hmm. And now she can put her contacts in no problem.
Oh, well, that is a very odd thing to think that's a hormonal problem. And it turns out
it's a body out of balance, right? Really amazing. Her pain's completely gone. She's way more confident. Her family is so much healthier and happier. She has consistent energy all day long, and she falls asleep and stays asleep. Like, these are enormous. So if you look at each one of these wins, right, they're huge, right? And the menstrual cycle is really considered the 5th vital sign now. So, when you go in and, the doctor checks your blood pressure and your pulse and your, and all your vital signs, they need to be asking about your menstrual cycle, because that is a great indication of how healthy you are or not. Isn't that something?
Yeah.
So what I want you to really know is that change is a process. It's not an event. Like, these ladies have taken the steps to begin to balance their hormones, right? They are using nutrients, food, and it's really lifestyle and nutrients and food, lifestyle, nutrients, and food. Those are the 3 things that have the biggest impact on whether you're healthy or not. And so it just takes time for your body to heal. It's like a seed growing to a flower. It's like an acorn growing to a mighty oak tree. It's like a caterpillar becoming a butterfly. It takes days, weeks, months, years. And so you need to set yourself up for that this is a new way of thinking, a new way of living. And it's amazing. Like, for the first time in your life, you won't be starving. You won't be counting calories. You won't be hungry. Like, it's amazing. It's just amazing. So I'm going to share with you a couple more success stories so you just continue to be inspired. Valerie, incredibly vibrant spiritual woman. She teaches women their spiritual path. She's really an empowerment health coach. She couldn't sleep. She was exhausted all day. She was overweight, aches and pains everywhere, digestion never regular, struggling to make ends meet financially. Her energy is now amazing. Her pain is, I mean, she had like such bad joint pain. She could hardly walk. Unbelievable. Pain's completely gone. She's released 20 pounds and her income has now reached her income goal. She was really struggling financially. And now she's like, yes, I am there. I was so happy when I heard that. I'm like, oh my God, that's amazing. And she hiked 5 miles in snowshoes, in snow, uphill, no problem. 5 miles. I was like, wow, you are a friggin' rock star. Like, these are things that you can achieve in months, Nancy, best summer of my life. She said she released 42 pounds. She's someone who, if she gets a cough, it lasts for months and months and months. She knocked it out in 2 weeks, completely gone. She has amazing energy, and she joins these contests at these auto shows where it's adorable and amazing, where she's a pinup girl, and she finally won this year. She won in the summer, and I was just so proud of her. I mean, it's incredible. She's adorable. And Crystal, oh my gosh, she made her last consult appointment with me just to tell me, I just want you to know that you've completely turned my life around. When she first started my program, the doctors wanted to take her gallbladder out. She was having so many gallbladder issues. We've saved her gallbladder. She stopped all of her medications. That was her choice in working with her doctors. She's released over 50 pounds, and she'd been trying, like all these ladies, for years to lose weight. Right? She'd been trying for over 10 years to just lose any weight. Well, in months, right, she's released over 50 pounds. She's completely pain-free. She told me she could barely get out of her chair every day. She has beautiful hair. Her hair was thinning. She was losing her hair on her head. And now it's all growing back in. She has great energy. In fact, she is now carrying full-time for her 2-year-old granddaughter, and she's able to keep up with her no problem. I mean, like, what an incredible story that is.
That's amazing.
Incredible. And she's such a beautiful woman, and she's so proud of what she's accomplished. So what are next steps for you? That's what I want to know. So I want to share about my reset that's coming up in January, in case that might be a next step for you. So we're going to talk just a little bit about that.
Okay, yeah, and it's going to be 7 days, right? Of
7 days.
Live calls with you, and you said an amazing Facebook group, right?
Yeah, so we have an amazing Facebook group. We're going to be meeting on Zoom. We stream into Facebook. You're going to really understand what's going on, and you're going to really understand what it takes to actually heal. We have many guests. You're going to be doing an assessment every day for a different hormone, and you're going to really understand what some of those hormone deal breakers are, and kind of where you're going.
I think it sounds amazing, because you're going to get so much information that you probably have never heard before. Maybe you've heard 10%, so that you can really assess how are hormones affecting, or hormone imbalance affecting you, and what would be, your targeted way to get them back in balance. So it's not just throwing every single option at, hoping one of them sticks, which is what we do most of the time. Take every supplement we can think of. Take 40 supplements, I hope one of them works. But when you get very focused, like you said, what was it? Assess, test, and guess. Or not guess. What was it? Assess, test, don't guess.
Yeah, assess, test, don't guess.
So you're going to get super specific. Do you help people find out, like for the testing, do you give them resources on where they can get the kinds of tests that they need done?
I don't. So that's something that's in my private program, okay. But I do share the tests that are the most important to look at and why I use them. So some of the ladies, so we've been doing this reset for 2 years now, and this one's going to be a condensed version because the past reset has been 15 days, and unfortunately life is back in session now. We just don't have 15 days. So it's a condensed version of that, and the outcomes of that program have been absolutely phenomenal. We have hundreds of incredible testimonials from the 15-day hormone reset, and I want to have that from this reset as well, from the condensed version. And so we're really going to give you a lot of tools so that you can take charge of your health and feel really confident doing it. Instead of going to the doctor and the doctor says, oh, you're fine, come back in a year. And you say, but I don't feel fine, right? I don't feel fine and I want the answers now. And I love what Amy said, you know, I could easily be one of those people who take a gazillion supplements just to cover all the bases. But that happens to be one of my superpowers. It's really helping you figure out which supplements you need when, so that you can keep moving along your path of healing, right? Because it takes days, weeks, months, easily up to a year, right, in order for your body to continue to heal. So I teach you how to do that. And so I think that you're going to really love the information in the program. If you're someone who's tried a lot of things, you know, a lot of my clients have tried a lot of things. They've been trying to figure this out. And this, in fact, there was a health coach who took there's been a lot of health coaches who have taken the 15-day hormone reset. And they said, what I love about your program is you pull it all together, right? You give us the why behind all these things that we've been told to do. And now I know that it's important to do it because I have the why. You know, because it's easy to dabble and to try different things, but if you don't see the results you want to see, you give up.
Right.
So if I give you the why behind it and what hormonal impact these things have that you're doing, then it's like, oh my gosh, that makes perfect sense. Totally get it. I'm going to give it a go.
And Robin tells us that she is actually going to give everyone listening a discount on this program. And you might think, well, this program, it's 7 days. It's probably going to be like $1,000, but for you, you're never going to believe this, it's only $27. So it's almost a no-brainer, $27 to learn all of this information. I guarantee you would not learn this information in a book, and you probably would start the book and, you know, and it wouldn't be personalized, and you wouldn't get, I mean, it's just going to be so much more than you could possibly get anywhere else at such a reasonable price. So if you feel like you have health goals, like any of the ladies that we talked about, or other ones, there are definitely other goals, but man, they surely covered the range. You can figure out where you are now and what, you know, which of the 6 hormones are your first targets are. Is that right, Robin?
Yeah, so we're going to really kind of discover where you are. So we'll be doing an assessment for each hormone. So you're going to get 6 scores.
Okay.
So we're going to be scoring you, right, so that you kind of really understand what's going on for yourself. And then you're going to learn what the hormone deal breakers are, and potentially what some of your hormone deal breakers are. And, you know, we normally sell the program for $47. This whole community is going to get it for $27. It's an incredible program for those women who are really wanting more out of life and you really want to rock your 2022, right? Like, this is how we do it. It's really the only way to do it. And I'm just so thrilled to offer it to you guys for $27, because that was one of the things that came out of the pandemic for me, was how can I serve at a much bigger level so that we can heal our immune system ourselves and have a strong immune system so that we can not just survive, but thrive during a pandemic. So that this is really my gift. It's my gift for, you know, what has happened. And this is kind of what I downloaded and thought, gosh, this is how I can serve, because it was a really confusing time. And I thought, I really want to help. I just don't know how. And so the 15-day hormone reset came to me, and it's been incredible. And so now we're condensing it, and I want you to have the condensed version. And so we've made it affordable for every single woman.
And if you can't attend the live web streaming, can you watch the recording?
You can watch the replays in our Facebook group, but when the program is over on the 25th, it's over. We might give a couple of extra days for you to catch up on the replays, and then we do close it down.
Okay, so you need to be committed for that time frame, let's say the 17th through the 27th or so, to make sure that you take in all the information and you participate with the Facebook group, ask any questions you have. So that's good to know, so you can plan. Like, you know, that's when it's happening. It's not just whatever you feel like it kind of program. It sounds like a really good intensive.
Yeah, it's a really great event. You need to show up. It's not something that you can really participate in later. It's It's a right then, and it's for an hour a day.
Okay.
So I really encourage you to, make time in your calendar for it, except for the 25th. That's going to be, more like 2 to 3 hours.
Okay.
That's a longer day. We have lots of guests. It's incredible. You're going to learn a ton of information.
Awesome.
So, and you're going to love it. Like it's what we all have been craving.
Right. And if you do want to work further with you, you have some other programs where people can dive in a little deeper, but this is the best place to start, correct?
This is the best way to start. In fact, I don't take anyone in my private programs unless they've done my reset.
Okay. Yeah. You want them to be educated, right? So that they come at the.
Yes, I want them to have a really strong foundation. And I also want them to understand or to figure out if they like me or not, if they like my philosophy. And it's hard taking someone on who says, oh my gosh, I don't want to do that, or I don't want to do that. You really want to know, like, and trust the person who you're working with. And this is a great way to get to know me better.
And I remember when we spoke a month or so ago, or 2 months ago, you told me, because I was telling you about Happavise and how we do, most of our programs are related to energy healing. And you said you just started working with an energy healer who came to work with you as a private one-on-one client. And she just said, I know you're it for me. Like, she just knew this is the right person for me. And she jumped in with both feet because she knew, she just had that gut instinct. And I think a lot of people in my audience will resonate with that. We have some new people in our audience too that don't have as much exposure to the energy healing programs that we often do. But I think a lot of my long-term Happavise community will be like, yep, I get that. I understand. You have to have a good vibe, especially when you're doing something so important. It's different if you're just going to read a book. But when you're really making big life changes, you need to really connect with the person that is supporting you and mentoring you.
Yeah, for sure. And if you are, really tune into energy, you're going to get a feeling right away. One gal who just joined my program after the last reset, she said, I knew right away. And I said, how did you know right away? And it wasn't an energy thing. She said, it's because, what did she say? She said, it's because you have really strong opinions about things. and I really liked that.
Yeah.
You stood up for yourself when somebody said something, that was against what you were saying. And I said, absolutely, because I know it works.
Right.
Yeah. And so you just, yes, but if you are someone who's really tuned into energy, you're going to be able to tell a lot sooner. But I still want you to really understand and trust the path and have a little bit of knowledge before we start working together.
Awesome. Well, I think for $27, you can't go wrong. If you only learn 5 great things, that's well worth it at $27. So you can just click on the link that's on the page here. That will take you through, and that link will give you the discount, the Happavise discount for the program in January. Anything else you want to add, Robin, before we wrap it up?
Well, I'm just so excited that you are doing Amy's event here. I think it's just incredible. Anytime you say yes to yourself, that is a huge step in the right direction. And I just want to say, lovely, beautiful woman, it's your time. Say yes.
Yeah, I agree. That sounds awesome. All right, everyone, I want to thank you for joining our one and only video interview with Robin. And thank you so much, Robin, for sharing all this amazing information. And I hope you guys can work with her further.
Oh,
thanks.
So great.
Bye-bye.